Hello students, welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas. So friends, we have an application by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. And once you have downloaded, you can log in with your Gmail ID. And why I am suggesting you this application, because this is the one-stop solution for all the current affairs. This is the best of the best application and the platform where you can enhance your learning through help. Here you will be provided with multiple courses. Here you will be provided with multiple options of quizzes, and even you will be provided current affairs on daily basis. PDFs and quizzes will be provided to you on daily basis, both in Hindi as well as English. Here you will be provided current affairs with weekly basis and monthly basis also. Here remember, once you have done watching our video, then you can log in through this application, take out the PDF, read that PDF and go through the quizzes. That will enhance your preparation. Same you have to do for weekly and same you have to do for the monthly also. In monthly you will be provided with the top 100 important questions PDF and video also, that will enhance your learning, and it will be a very beneficial and important video for the revision perspective. And not just this friends, apart from this we also provide you banking and economic questions. We provide you state current affairs such as of Uttarakhand, UP, Tripura, Telangana, and many more. Not just this, apart from this, we also provide you topic wise current affairs, and the topics that we are providing you are really important. These topics are such as national affairs, international affairs, important days, sports, defense, science and technology, apps and web portals, obituary. These are the important topics that are being asked in various exams across India. So these are the topics that are must and should be covered and will be beneficial for the preparation of the students.
Hello everyone. So in this video we will be discussing important current affairs of the June month. The session will be very important. So do pay attention till the end. We will be revising multiple current affairs that will be enhancing your preparation. So let's start. First, which of the following is correct with respect to the 76th Annual World Health Assembly that was held in Geneva, Switzerland in May 2023? So if we talk about this World Health Assembly, remember first thing that this is the 76th edition of this World Health Assembly, and the location where this was held is Geneva, Switzerland. Correct? It was from 21st to 30th of May that we observed this World Health Assembly. The next thing you need to remember is the theme on which it was based. The theme is WHO at 75, saving lives, driving health for all. This is the theme for the World Health Assembly. Then next thing, remember, our Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia, that comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, represented India during this 76th World Health Assembly. How the question can be framed from this part is that who was the Indian who represented India during the 76th World Health Assembly? He will be Mansukh Mandavia. Correct? Then remember, member states of WHO agreed to the WHO's program budget of $6.83 billion for the next 2 years, that is 24 to 25. Also, WHO, the World Health Assembly, not extended Taiwan's invitation to the event, and it was excluded due to the Chinese opposition. Right? We know that between China and Taiwan the tension is going on, and because of that Taiwan was not a part of this. Now if we take ABC, which among the following is correct? If we look at it, 76th Annual World Health Assembly held in Geneva, Switzerland, and the theme here was health for peace, peace for health. Is it? No. The theme what was? The theme is WHO at 75, save lives, health for all. So option A is wrong because the theme is wrong. Next, member states of WHO agreed to WHO's program budget of $6.83 billion for the next 2 years, which shows a historical 20% increase in assessed contribution. Is it correct? Yes, option B is correct because it is for 2 years and the amount is $6.83 billion. Next, Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia delivered the keynote addresses at a side event session on Heal in India, Heal by India, and Together We Fight Against TB at the 76th World Health Assembly. So is it correct? So yes, option C is also right here. Correct? That was Heal in India and Heal by India and Together We Fight Against Tuberculosis. So both option B and C are right here. Next, Which of the following organization released a report highlighting hunger is said to worsen in 18 hotspots globally, comprising a total of 22 countries including Pakistan, Afghanistan and Myanmar. So this data, this report, that is hunger hotspots, FAO, World Food Program, was released by World Food Program and Food and Agriculture Organization, right? Then next thing, it is saying that hunger is said to worsen in 18 hotspots globally, correct? And next thing you need to remember, this will include 22 countries including the regions of Indian neighbor countries Pakistan, Afghanistan and Myanmar. As the names, as the report suggests, hunger, we know that there is inflation going on all around the world. The food prices are highly inflated, and the people who cannot afford the food, then they are feeling this heat, they are feeling this hunger, and this reports is connected to them as in future this inflation will rise in the few like say for example in 10 to 15 years, and the food prices will get continuously more. Like for example, right now, chilies, green chilies in India, they are clocking 400 rupees per kg. That is one of the highest prices seen of chili. Tomatoes are clocking 100 plus rupees per kg in many cities, right? So this is also food inflation. The reason for this right now is because of the rainfall. During the rainfall time, these food item prices rises, correct? So right option here is option 5. Both 1 and 3 released this report, correct? That is hunger is said to worsen in 18 hotspots globally in 22 countries. Next, name the insurance company that recently launched India's first insurance plan for diabetes. This insurance plan for diabetes was launched by Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Corporation, the private life insurer, right? They launched the first of its kind insurance plan. And in the Indian life insurance industry, that is designed for type 2 diabetic and pre-diabetic individuals. I repeat, type 2 and pre-diabetic individuals. So this insurance plan that was launched by Bajaj Life Insurance is based on first type 2 and second pre-diabetic individuals, correct? As per the data released by Bajaj Alliance, India is referred to as the diabetes capital of the world. So the next question can be framed as, who is referred to as the diabetes capital of the world? It is our India, correct? Just remember, with the, if we talk about the data, country is expected to hit 69.9 million by 2025 and 80 million people by 2030 who are diabetic, correct? Not just India, but USA is also considered as one of the diabetic countries of the world. And due to lockdown, this diabetes, or as we were more sitting, we were not moving, right? We became lazy, and because of that our eating habits also changed, and because of that we will be seeing not just in India but all around the world that diabetic cases on rise. Next, which organization has recently launched India Country Partnership Strategy 23 to 27, that is catalyze robust, climate resilient and inclusive growth to assist India to achieve sustainable, climate resilient and inclusive growth for the next 5 years. Correct? I repeat, it is your Asian Development Bank, right? Which organization? Asian Development Bank. They recently launched India Country Partnership Strategy 23 to 27, that is for 4 years, and it will catalyze the robust, climate resilient, inclusive growth to assist India to achieve sustainable development growth, right? As we are focusing on achieving sustainable development goal, and India want to become a developed nation by 2047, correct? And during, because on this, in this year India will achieve 100 years of independence, and to celebrate it India want to become a developed nation. So for that we want to achieve a inclusive growth where we will be following sustainable development goals, where we will be shifting to renewable sources of energy, right? Where we'll be following circular economy, where poverty will be low, where the income of people will be high and they will be living a comfortable life. Next, who has recently received the 57th Gyanpit Award from P.S. Sridharan Pillai, the governor of Goa? So, Damodar Mauzo. Remember, he is an eminent Konkani writer, right? And he is a Sahitya Academy Award winner. and recently he received the 57th Gyanpit Award from P.S. Sridharan Pillai, who is the governor of Goa. Correct? And remember, he is the second Konkani writer after Ravinder Kelkar to receive this award. And Ravinder Kelkar, he was the recipient of the 42nd Gyanpit Award. And now, who is the second person to receive this 57th Gyanpit Award? Damodar Mauzo. Correct? We are talking about Konkani writer here. And if we talk about Nilmani Fukan, he is an Assamese poet and he received the 56th Gyanpit Award. Right? 57th Gyanpit Award awarded to Damodar Mauzo. Who received 56th edition of Gyanpit Award? Nilmani Fukan. Next, which among the following are correct with respect to the cabinet approvals on 31st of May? See, if we talk about these cabinet approvals, first thing you need to know is that Union Cabinet is chaired by whom? Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Correct? Then on the lines of the central government plan to expand the food storage capacity in India, Union Cabinet has approved to set up an interministerial committee for the world's largest grain storage plan in the cooperative sector. So option if we see that this is the correct, this is an interministerial committee for the facilitation of the world's largest grain storage plan in the cooperative sector. Correct? So option 1 is correct here. Then remember, under this the government will infuse 1 lakh crore rupees, that is, if we convert it, it is 1 trillion for this plan in order to increase the food storage capacity by 700 lakh ton in India. Correct? So coming back, this is the world's largest grain storage capacity plan is to be built, or we can say India is planning on building world's largest grain storage capacity. India will be infusing 1 lakh crore rupees in this and it will increase the capacity by 700 lakh tons. Next is, so option A is correct. Second is, the cabinet approved the establishment of a regional office of the Universal Postal Union in New Delhi. So yes, absolutely this is correct, and this office would focus on the UPU, that is your Universal Postal Union Development Corporation, and technical assistance in various collaborations. Next thing, option B is also correct. C option is saying that Union Cabinet will approve the City Investment to Innovate, Integrate and Sustain 1.0, that is Cities 1.0, because city stands for City Investment to Innovate, Integrate and Sustain, to 28 more cities, which will run for a period of 5 years from 2023 to 2028. So let me correct here, this option is wrong. Why? Because Union Cabinet approved the Cities 2.0. Cities 2.0 initiative, and this will be for 4 years, not 5 years, and it will be from 2023 to 2027. Correct? And this Cities 2.0 initiative is by which ministry? Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Next, India conducted Asia's first demonstration of the performance-based navigation for helicopters for a flight from Juhu to Pune, Maharashtra using Gagan. What is this Gagan? Right, we will discuss it. Gagan aided geo augmented navigation satellite technology. Question asked here is, which government agency company along with the Airport Authority of India has developed this Gagan technology? See, Gagan, first of all we should know Gagan. Gagan stands for GPS, Global Positioning System Aided Geo Augmented Navigation. This is your Gagan, right? So GPS aided geo augmented navigation satellite technology. This will allow high quality air traffic management. This is for air traffic management. As we know, see, we are seeing that drones are coming into play. We are seeing that flying cars coming into play. So with this, we will be requiring a traffic management system similar to that we see on roads, right? So we know that planes are flying, now drones will be flying, then in future we will be seeing cars also flying. So for that, a proper navigation system should be there, a traffic management system should be there. So for the same, India conducted Asia's first demonstration of this Gagan, that was in a flight from Juhu to Pune, right? This flight was from Juhu to Pune, Maharashtra, right? Then next question can be asked is that this Gagan technology is developed by whom? This Gagan technology is developed by ISRO along with Airport Authority of India. So ISRO and Airport Authority of India developed it. Question asked here is, among the following, with Airport Authority of India, who developed this Gagan technology? So we saw Airport Authority of India and your ISRO. So correct option here becomes option 4th, right? And that is everything you need to know for Gagan. And it is a better GPS, or we can say Gagan is a state of the art space based augmentation system that is used for a GPS, or in future we will be using it for air traffic management. Next, according to the ILO, International Labour Organization's 11th edition of the World of Work report that was released in May, the global unemployment is projected to fall below pre-pandemic levels to 191 million, corresponding to an unemployment rate of how much percent? Of 5.3%. Correct? I repeat, recently, according to ILO, International Labour Organization, they released the 11th edition of the World of Work, right? This was released in May, and they projected that the global unemployment rate is projected to fall below the pre-pandemic levels of 191 million, right? And this is to an unemployment rate of 5.3% in 2023. Correct? Next thing, remember, as is now artificial intelligence is launched, we are seeing huge job losses, right? We are seeing multiple companies laying their staff off. We are seeing that because of this artificial intelligence, many new software, many new websites have came up that helps the persons to increase their productivity also. So that is a positive thing. But negative thing is that this will take a lot of jobs in the market and it will be replaced by automation. Correct? Next, name the subsidiary of the Reserve Bank of India that recently collaborated with IIT Madras Research Park and IIT Madras Incubation Cell to launch voice banking solutions to eliminate language barriers across India. So it is your Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, right? RBIH, correct? So we can say that IIT Madras Research Park and IIT Madras Incubation Cell, they have collaborated with whom? They collaborated with Reserve Bank Innovation Hub in order to launch a voice banking solution. That is, this voice banking solution will be having different languages that will include Hindi, English, then Telugu and Tamil. These languages will be there in the initial stages and they will be supported by this voice banking, voice-based banking solution. Correct? So option 4 is right here. Next, according to the official data released by Union Government in May, the Indian economy's gross domestic product growth is projected at how much percent? It is projected at 6.1% year on year in the fourth quarter of financial year 23. If we talk about Fitch ratings, they projected that India will be growing by 6% in this financial year. In financial year 23, India grew by 7.2%. In financial year 24, India is expected to grow by 6%, and in financial year 25 and financial year 26, it is expected that India will be clocking more than 7%. It is possible that India will be clocking more than 7%. Correct? Next, JP Morgan raised their forecast for India's annual growth by 50 basis point to dash for fiscal year 24. So now it is 5.5%. Earlier, JP Morgan projected that India will be growing by 5%, but they increased their projection by 0.5%, and now it is 5.5%. Also, what is the name of the launch of JP Morgan in Metaverse? It is named as Onyx. It is named as Onyx. Correct? Next, Dash from Argentina was appointed as the first female Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization, and Mrutyunjay Mohapatra from India was elected as the Dash Vice President of WMO. So remember Celeste Solo. Celeste Solo, she is from Argentina, right? She has been appointed as the first female Secretary General of World Meteorological Organization, right? And Mrityunjay Mohapatra, he is from India, right? And he has been elected as the third vice president of WM. So who is the Secretary General? Celeste Solo, she is from Argentina. And who is the Vice President now? Mrityunjay Mohapatra, he is from India and he is the third Vice President. So correct option is option 4th. Correct. Now question can be asked that Celeste Solo, as she became the first female Secretary General, she will be replacing whom? She will be replacing Professor Petri Talas. Correct, and he is from Finland. Next, which among the following is correct with respect to e-bank guarantee and insurance surety bonds as of June 2023? So if we talk about it, remember Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, they have approved the acceptance of e-bank guarantee, that is electronic bank guarantee, and insurance surety bonds as the bid security and performance security in standard documents. Correct. Apart from this, remember this decision follows recent amendments by the Department of Expenditure that comes under the Ministry of Finance relating to inclusion of the e-bank guarantee and insurance surety bonds. As per the approval, the existing contracts including the road development, toll contracts, ropeways and other contracts wherein the ministry has prescribed a bank guarantee can be replaced with the insurance surety bonds, right? And the physical bank guarantee may be accepted if bank guarantees are not feasible. So coming back, which among the following is correct? If we look at the option A, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, they approved the e-bank guarantee and insurance surety bonds as a bid and security performance in as a bid security and performance security in the standard documents of engineering, procurement and construction hybrid annuity model build operate transfer projects. Correct. So option A is right. Second is the existing contract includes road development, toll contracts, ropeways and any other contracts wherein ministry has prescribed a bank guarantee can be replaced with the insurance surety bond. So option B is also correct. C, physical bank guarantees may be accepted if bank guarantees are not feasible. So yes, option C is also right. Moving on, name the organization that recently partnered with Indian G20 presidency to release a report that was titled Low Cost Finance for Energy Transition. So the name of the energy agency here is IREDA, that is International Renewable Energy Agency. Correct. So IRENA, not IREDA, IRENA. Right. So this is the name of the report that was released by International Renewable Energy Agency. Correct. And it praised the India's achievement in rolling out the renewable energy capacity and calling it unprecedented. Then remember, if we talk about wind energy, which is the state best performing in wind energy and which is the state performing best in solar energy generation. So for wind energy generation, it is Rajasthan, and for solar energy generation is also Rajasthan, and Rajasthan became the first state to achieve 10 gigawatts of solar energy capacity. Then if we talk about on the global level, right, India ranks third in terms of renewable energy attractiveness index. Correct. I repeat, India ranks third in terms of renewable energy attractive index in 2021. And India's solar and wind power is the fourth largest in the world. And India's wind and solar power, it is the fourth largest in the world. Correct. Next, you have to tell which among the following is incorrect with respect to the guidelines issued by SEBI in June. If we look at it, SEBI has issued the guidelines for the transaction of the corporate bonds through the request for quote platform by the stock brokers. I repeat, SEBI has issued the guidelines for the transaction in the corporate bonds through the request for quote platform by the stock brokers in order to increase the liquidity on the platform and to enhance the transparency and disclosure pertaining to the trading in the secondary market in corporate bonds. Also, SEBI has asked the stock brokers to undertake at least 10% of their total secondary market trades by value in the CBs, that is corporate bonds, in that month. This instruction would be applicable for all the trades in proprietary capacity with effect from 1st of July, and the value would be increased by 25% of the total secondary market trades from 1st of April 2024 onwards. So if we look among them, you have to tell which is incorrect. So if we see option 1A is correct, and option C, that the value would be increased by 25% of their total secondary market, is also correct with respect to 1st of April. But we have to find the incorrect one, so our answer will be option B, because SEBI has asked the stockbrokers to undertake at least 20% of their total. No, they have asked the stockbrokers to take at least 10% of their total secondary market rates by value in these corporate bonds. Next, which company recently launched India's first ever mobile based expense management card that was named Card Plus Plus? It is your Carbon Card, right? Carbon Card, this is a B2B, business to business payment solution provider that was launched India, or that has launched India's first ever mobile based expense management card that was named Card Plus Plus. Based on the mobile first approach, this will address the challenges that are faced by various startups and small and mid-sized businesses by providing them accessible expense solutions and reducing the cost by the multiple payment instruments by the SMBs, that is small and mid-sized businesses. Correct? So this Carbon Card was launched by whom? It was launched by, or this C plus Card Plus Plus was launched by Carbon Card. Right? Next, name the company that recently signed an MOU with Gujarat government to establish India's first lithium ion cell manufacturing gigafactory in Gujarat. So, which is the company that recently signed an MOU with Gujarat government to establish India's first lithium ion cell manufacturing factory in Gujarat? It is your Tata Agratas Energy Storage Solutions Private Limited. Correct? And it is said that they will be setting up this lithium ion cell manufacturing facility in Gujarat. In Gujarat only artificial diamond manufacturing is there. In Gujarat only Gift City is there, where India's first foreign university will be setting up their campus, and it is the University of Australia, that is Deakin University. Correct? Then remember, this Gigafactory in Gujarat, they will produce the first ever lithium ion cells in India, and the plant is expected to start in less than 3 years. These lithium ion batteries will be used in cars, right? They will be used in cars because we are seeing an increase in the cars of electric vehicles, right? More and more electric vehicles are coming for the same. Also, this MOU was signed under the new Gujarat's electronic policy, and this Gujarat electronics policy is for 2022 to 2028. Then remember, this plant will have an estimated initial investment of around 13,000 crore rupees and will have a production capacity of 20 gigawatts per hour. Right? So where is this gigafactory being setting up? That is the lithium ion cell manufacturing gigafactory. It will be in Gujarat. It will be by Tata Agratas Energy Storage Solutions Private Limited. Next, which of the following points are correct with respect to the visit of US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in India in June 2023? So remember, during this, if we talk about our Union Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Lloyd Austin discussed about the General Electric's proposal to share technology with India for the fighter jet engines and New Delhi's plan to procure 31 MQ-9B armed drones at a cost of over $3 billion from US General Atomics Aeronautical Systems Incorporation. So is it correct? So yes, it is correct. They recently met and they discussed for the sharing of this fighter jet engine with India. And also remember, not just this, they are planning on manufacturing or the fighter planes jet engine in India so that they can be used by India also, right? This will increase the manufacturing of industries in India. More and more industries will be set up in India. Next thing is, both India and USA decided to launch negotiations for two crucial agreements related to security of supply arrangements and reciprocal defense procurement in an effort to establish stable supply chains of arms and equipment, right? So is option B correct here? So yes, option B is also right here. Third is India and the US concluded a roadmap for defense industrial cooperation to fast track technology tie-ups and co-production of military platforms such as air combats and land systems. This is also correct here. Not just this, apart from this, remember when Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited US, there they signed deals on artificial intelligence. They plan on going to International Space Station by 2024. Then urea and fertilizer corporation was signed here. Then here, as I just mentioned, India will be making engines of the fighter planes in India that will be enhancing the manufacturing in India, and we will also be getting the technology for the same. Next, name the personality from India who was recently selected for UNESCO's 2023 Michael Batiste Award for Biosphere Reserve Management. Who is he? Jagdish Sudhakar Pakan, right? A wildlife warden and district forest officer of Ramanathampuram district of Tamil Nadu, and he has been selected for the UNESCO's 2023 Michael Batiste Award for Biosphere Reserve Management. And remember, he is the first Indian to win this Michael Batiste Award, correct? Currently, he is the director of the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve in Tamil Nadu, and he has been chosen for this award for his work in the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. Correct? And he will receive this Michael Batiste Award for Biosphere Reserve Management on 14th of June in Paris, France. Next, you have to tell which among the following is correct with respect to IBA World Man Boxing Championship that was held in Tashkent, Uzbekistan from 30th April to 40th of May. First option is 3 Indian boxers Deepak Kumar Bhoria, Mohammad Husamuddin and Nishant Dev. They have won the bronze medal at the 22nd edition of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championship 2023. So yes, option A is correct. These 3 Indian boxers won bronze medal here. Second, Russia topped the overall medal tally with 9 medals, that is 5 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze, followed by Uzbekistan with 5 medals, that is 4 gold and 1 silver. So remember here the correct option becomes, it is not Russia that has topped here, that is your Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan has topped the overall medal tally, correct? They won 9 medals, 5 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze. It was followed by not Uzbekistan, it was followed by Kazakhstan, correct? And in this, India and Spain won a total of 3 medals, won both 3 each, that is, and that too bronze medal, and they were ranked 12th in this medal tally. So option C is right here. With this win, remember, India has won a total of 10 medals in all the championship, and for the first time India won a total 3 medals at a single edition of tournament. Next, which organization or NGO recently signed a new and revised strategic framework for collaboration with World Health Organization to build stronger health systems? It is the Global Fund, right? Then World Health Organization, WHO, and Global Fund, right? They are to fight AIDS, that is your acquired immune deficiency syndrome, TB, tuberculosis and malaria, right? And they signed a new and revised strategic framework for this collaboration. This new 5-year, this will be a 5-year framework that will build upon the previous agreement established in 2018. These new revised frameworks of WHO and Global Fund, they will be spread across 35 areas, and it will be divided into 4 categories basically, that is health policies and normative guidance, advocacy, health governance, health products and innovation, technical support and capacity building. So coming back, it is your WHO and Global Fund. They have signed and revised strategic framework for collaboration with WHO to build stronger health system. Next, name the organization that recently launched their 3rd cohort of the 4 Ocean Innovations, right? It is your United Nations Development Program, right? They launched their 3rd cohort of 4 Oceans Innovators, which aims to accelerate the process on Sustainable Development Goal Target 14.2, 14.5 and 14.7. 14.2 is basically for marine protected areas. 14.5 is for area based management, right? And 14.7 is for the blue economy. Correct? So the organization that launched third cohort of the 4 ocean innovators is your United Nations Development Program. Right? These 4 innovations will demonstrate the roles of marine special planning, marine protected areas, and new environmentally and socially sustainable economic activities for the healthy and resilient ocean. We want to keep our oceans clean. We want our oceans to be more healthy in terms that more and more fauna and flora should or marine biodiversity should flourish there. Next, which among the following is incorrect with respect to the 8th edition of the India Ranking 2023 released in June 2023. See, Indian ranking, they are released on the parameters that was released by NIRF, National Institutional Ranking Framework, and according to this, that was prepared by Ministry of Education. This ranking was prepared by Ministry of Education, right, on the parameters defined by NIRF. Then here remember IIT Madras. Correct, it is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. They have topped the list for the 5th consecutive time. Right, first thing. Next, remember it was followed by IISc Bangalore at 2nd position and IIT Delhi at the 3rd position. Next thing, remember under the best university category, IISc Bangalore has topped the list, followed by Jawaharlal Nehru in Delhi and Jamia Millia Islamia University on 3rd position. Correct. Also, IIT Madras topped among the engineering institutes for the 8th consecutive time. Right. If we are talking about IIT Madras, it has topped the ranking for the engineering institutes for the 8th consecutive time. Right. So if we look at the data, which among the following you have to tell is incorrect. So if we look at option A, the 8th edition of Indian ranking for 2023, they were prepared by Ministry of Education, right, and they were defined on the parameters defined by NIRF. So option A is right. Second, Indian Institute of Technology Madras, Chennai, Tamil Nadu has topped the overall list for the 5th consecutive time. So yes, this is also right. Then next is under the best university category, IISc Bangalore topped the list, followed by Jawaharlal Nehru University of New Delhi. Yes, this is also right. Fourth, Indian Institute of Technology Delhi topped among the engineering institutes for the 6th consecutive time. No, it is not IIT Delhi. It is IIT Madras that has topped among the engineering institutes for the 8th consecutive year. Correct? So our answer becomes option 4th. And these all our informations are important and need to be learned by heart by you all. Next, name the institute that recently signed an MOU with National Dam Safety Authority to establish India's first of its kind National Center for Earthquake Safety of Dams. So remember, the institute that signed an MOU with the National Dam Safety Authority to establish India's first of its kind National Center for Earthquake Safety of Dams is your Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur. Right? And this institute that is in Jaipur, Rajasthan, and the National Dam Safety Authority that comes under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, they have signed a memorandum of understanding to establish India's first of its kind National Center for Earthquake Safety of Dams. Right? They will be focusing on the dams safety, that if there is a shaking of or there is any vibration because of the earthquake, then how can that impact the safety of a dam, right? Can there be cracks in it? And if there are cracks in a dam, then definitely the security has been compromised, right? Also, to protect the already built dams and to come up with the new technology that will be keeping our dams more safe and protected during an earthquake, this research will also be done here. Correct? A total of 30 crore rupees will be spent here for the next 5 years on doing research and development in this particular area to make our dams more safe and to make our dams protected from the earthquake. Next, which among the are correct with respect to RBI's annual report of 22-23 that was released in May 2023. So option here one is RBI's income increased by 47.06% to 2.35 lakh crore, and the expenditure also increased by 14.05% to 1.48 lakh crore. So is option A correct? So yes, option A is right here. Let's look at option B. According to the second advance estimates of national income that was released by NSO, the Indian economy is expected to have recorded a 8-point growth in the real GDP in fiscal year 23 from 9.3 in fiscal year 22. So is it correct? No, the data is not provided here, right? Here Indian economy expected to have a recorded growth of 7% in real GDP in fiscal year 23 from 9.1 that was in fiscal year 2022. And if we look at the third option, so we can say option B is wrong here. C, 13,530 cases of bank frauds are identified in 22-23 and public sector banks contribute maximum bank fraud amount. So yes, option C is also right here. Correct. So option A and C are correct and B is wrong. And we have corrected the data here. So do pay attention. Next, which among the are correct with respect to the visit of Prime Minister of Nepal, Pushpa Kamal Dahal to India from 31st of May to 3rd of June. If we look at the data here, during the visit here, see, he was here for a 4-day visit. Correct? That was from 31st of May to 3rd of June, and it was based at the invitation of the Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi for a high level exchange between both the nation according to the India's neighborhood first policy. And if you remember, Nepal, Bangladesh and India, they have signed a tripartite agreement also where they will be working together to send electricity, and there Nepal and Bangladesh will be sending excess electricity in their country to each other via help of the Indian grid, and that is also under the India's neighborhood first policy. Next thing, both sides had reached an agreement on long-term power trade between India and Nepal, under which India will import, not export. Remember, India will import 10,000 megawatts from Nepal in the next 10 years. Next thing, under a trilateral agreement, India has agreed to allow Nepal to sell power to Bangladesh using the Indian transmission network. Next thing, both India and Nepal, they have agreed to export 15 megawatt of power from Nepal to Bangladesh via India. These countries will work on an agreement to this effect soon, and currently India exports around 452 megawatts of power from Nepal. So if we look at the options here, during the visit, India and Nepal signed 7 agreements in various fields including development of integrated checkpost and hydroelectric projects. So yes, option A is correct here. Next, both the countries signed an agreement on long-term power trade under which India will import 30,000 megawatt from Nepal in the next 5 years. Is it correct? No, the right answer is India will import 10,000 megawatts from Nepal in the next 10 years and then not to 5 years. So option B is wrong here. Third, Nepal's Chief Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal addressed the Nepal India Business Summit in New Delhi and organized by Federation of Nepalese Chambers of Commerce and Industry and CII, that is the Confederation of Indian Industry, and interacted with businesses of both the countries. So yes, option C is right here. Next, the Employees Provident Fund Organization EPFO formed three committees to frame draft schemes for pension, provident fund and insurance under EPFO. Who will be the overall coordinator for all these 3 committees? So remember, Charan Mauli Chakraborty, right? He will be the overall coordinator for all the 3 committees. And what are these 3 committees? If we look at these committees, first is EPFS, that is Employees Provident Fund Scheme, that is for Provident Fund. Second is for EPS, that is your Employees Pension Scheme, and it is for pension. This is for Provident Fund, that is PF. This is for pension. And third, it is your EDLIS, that is your Employees Deposit for Linked Insurance Scheme, and this is an insurance scheme. Correct? And who has been appointed as the Coordinator for all these three committee, Charan Mauli Chakrabarti. Correct? Next. You have to tell me which among the following is correct with respect to the sustainability report for financial year 21-22, that is building a sustainable road infrastructure, released in June 2023. If we look at the options here, first option is the National Highway Authority of India under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways published their inaugural sustainability report for fiscal year 21-22, that is building a sustainable road infrastructure. Yes, option A is right here. Next, the direct emission has been reduced by 18.44 and 9.49% due to less fuel consumption between 2019-22, 21-22. So yes, option B is also right here. Third, greenhouse gases emissions from energy consumption, operations, transport and travel measured in metric tons CO2 equivalent kilometers constructed have witnessed a decline of 9.7% in fiscal year 22-21 and 2% in fiscal year 21-22. So yes, all these options are correct here. So ABC is the right answer. Next thing, remember the report was prepared as per the Global Reporting Initiative, correct, and it was released by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari. That comes under the Ministry of Rural Transport and Road Transport and Highways. So the question can also be asked that which ministry is related or responsible for this. It is your Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, correct. Next, which organization bank signed an MOU with National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, that is NABFID, to develop a pipeline of investment ready public-private partnership projects in infrastructure across India. So I repeat, name the organization that signed an MOU with the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development to develop a pipeline of investment ready public-private partnership projects in infrastructures across India. So the right option here is option 3, that is International Finance Corporation, IFC. This is a part of World Bank, correct, and NABFID, that is National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, they have signed an MOU, correct, that is IFC and NABFID, they signed an MOU on 2nd of June, and it was to develop a pipeline of investment ready public-private partnership projects in infrastructure. So we can say these two organizations are working together to develop infrastructure projects in India, right? And under this MOU, these two organizations would collaborate and identify and develop PPP projects and will provide comprehensive advisory services also. Next, CII projected Indian economy to grow between the range of 6.5 to 6.7% in the financial year 24. Also, CII has also projected India's GDP growth in fourth quarter of fiscal year 23 to be 6.1% with an annual growth of fiscal year 23 to be 7.2%. Right? Also remember, CII also expected that the CPI data, that is your consumer price index or consumer price index, or we can say the retail inflation data, to be around 4%. This is the target, and the expected or the accepted norms are plus minus 2%, that is between 2 to 6%. The CPI data is accepted, or the retail inflation is accepted between 2 to 6%. Next, according to the data released by CGA in June, the financial deficit target in fiscal year 23 was reduced to 6.36% of the GDP against 6.4% in the revised estimates. Right, the fiscal deficit for fiscal year 23 was at 17.33 trillion or 98.7% of the revised estimate, right? Then the next tax revenue in fiscal year 23 reached marginally high at 20.97 trillion than the revised estimate of 20.86 trillion rupees. So the right answer here becomes option 5, that the data released by CGA in June, the fiscal deficit target was reduced to 6.36% of the GDP against 6.4% in the revised estimates. Correct? Next thing, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched schemes that was named Amrit Yojana and Misty Yojana. I repeat, Amrit Yojana and Misty Yojana. These are the two schemes launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to revive wetlands and mangroves across India. So right option here becomes what? Question asked here is what does T stands for in Misty Yojana? See, first of all, we'll look at these. Amrit Yojana. This scheme was launched to conserve the existing Ramsar sites. Right, first thing. Second, remember Misty Yojana. This was launched to conserve the mangroves. So we can say Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched two schemes that were to conserve Ramsar sites and mangroves. For Ramsar site, it was your Amrit Yojana, and for mangroves, it was your Misty Yojana. Correct? So the right option for T in Misty stands for dash. Misty, what is the full form of Misty Yojana here? It stands for Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitats and Tangible Incomes. So this is your Misty, and here T stands for tangible. Right? Next, which among the following is incorrect with respect to State Food Safety Index or Food Safety and Standards Authority of India that was released in June? So according to the options, if we look at it, option A is saying on the occasion of the World Food Safety Day that was on 7th of June, our Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare Mansukh Mandviya released the 5th edition of the State Food Safety Index. So yes, is option A correct? Yes, option A is correct, but we have to give the incorrect one, right? So this was the 5th edition, and on 7th of June, World Food Safety Index was released. World Food Safety Day was observed on 7th of June, and they released the 5th edition of this State Food Safety Index. Next, Jammu and Kashmir secured first rank among the UTs, followed by Delhi. Is it correct? So remember, option 2 is wrong. It is your which that has topped in the UT. We are talking about Union Territory, right? So Jammu Kashmir secured the first rank in Union Territory, and it was followed by dash. So the answer is right here. It was JNK only that secured the first rank in UT, followed by Delhi. Then if we talk about data under small category, under small states, it is Goa that secured the top position, and under the larger state, it is your Kerala that has secured the top position. And we are seeing the same under the larger state, it is not Tamil Nadu, it is Kerala that has secured the top position, and dash topped in the list under the small states, it is Goa that has secured in the small state area. So for small state it is Goa, for large state it is Kerala, and for Union Territory it is Jammu and Kashmir. So our right answer becomes option C because it is wrong, and we have to find the incorrect one. Next, World Bank in its Global Economic Prospectus report of June 2023 has lowered the India's growth outlook to 6.3% for the year 2023 from 6.6 in January 2023. Correct? This data was released by World Bank in their Global Economic Prospectus report of June, and they have lowered the India's growth outlook to 6.3% for 2023, right? That is a 0.3 percentage point downward revision from 6.6% in the January month. However, remember, with the market standards, and it will talk at the global level, India is the country that is growing at the fastest rate, and we know that India will remain the fastest growing economy of the larger economic market and developing economies for the next 3 to 4 years, right? If there is a recession in US, then still remember Europe zone is in US recession, then US is in recession, and now India has the chance to show their capability, and India is performing very good at the international level and both market wise also, right? Our manufacturing is increasing, more and more foreign companies are starting to produce or starting their manufacturing in India. Correct? Next, so right answer here becomes option 1, 6.3%. Next is which among the following is correct with respect to the Competition Commission of India approval? If we look at the option A, the CCI cleared the proposed deal involving Manipal Health Enterprise Private Limited and Manipal Education and Medical Group India Private Limited. So yes, option 1 is correct. Second, acquisition of equity shares capital of the Manipal Health Enterprise Private Limited by Kangto Investments, Kabru Investments, Manipal Research and Management Service International, Manipal Global Health Service, MEMG International India, and TPG SG Magazine. Yes, option B is correct. C is the acquisition of optionally convertible debentures of MEMG India by MEMG International India Private Limited from National Investment and Infrastructure Fund 2. So yes, option C is also right here. Next, which company recently announced plan to launch the world's first multi-sensor Earth observation satellite Drishti in 2024? It is your Galaxy Space Solutions Private Limited, right? It is a space tech startup that was incubated by IIT Madras, right? And they are developing the world's first multi-sensor Earth observation satellite that is named Drishti, right? That is named Drishti, correct? And this is basically for viewing a visible spectrum camera that will allow the image capable of capturing multiple images simultaneously, right? And remember this Drishti mission, it is the first satellite in 2024, and the startup is going to launch this first satellite that was named Drishti, and it will be India's first and world's highest resolution multi-sensor imaging satellite that will be launched by Galaxy Space Solution Private Limited, and its name is Drishti, correct? And it was developed by IIT Madras. Union Minister for Labour and Employment and Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupendra Yadav, have launched a new feature for which portal that is for unorganized workers. So remember Bhupendra Yadav, he launched a various new features for the Esharam portal. For the Esharam portal. This Esharam portal is basically, it is for the unorganized sectors, and in order to provide various information, in order to help those laborers or those people who migrate from one state to another state in search of job with their family, this new feature will enable them to help those registered workers to connect with various employment opportunities, various pension schemes launched by the state government or by the central government, also with the digital scaling of the states under this Esharam portal, correct? Question can also be asked in such a way that this Esharam portal is basically for organized or unorganized. So it is for unorganized sector or unorganized workers. Next, if I ask you, tell me, recently AI machine was installed to assess the food quality in the schools. In which state this AI machine were used or installed? It was in the state of Maharashtra, right? Then National Technology Center was opened up where? It was opened in Chennai. National Technology Center. It was opened by whom? Sarbandana Sonowal ji. Correct? Then which edition of Advantage Healthcare India 2023 was held? It was the 6th edition of the Advantage Healthcare India 2023 held. Where was this held? It was held in New Delhi. Then Kerala's first Vande Bharat Express was flagged off by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Where was the G20 Tourism Expo? I repeat, G20 Tourism Expo held. It was held in Jaipur and it was conducted by Ministry of Tourism, right? Next, in which state or in which cities did we observe the Zero Shadow Day? Zero Shadow Day was observed in Bangalore as well as in Hyderabad, right? Then Y20, that is your Youth 20 pre-summit meeting, was held under G20 where it was held in Ladakh, correct? Next, which government agency or company recently collaborated with the Indian Navy and conducted a maiden flight trial of a sea-based endo-atmospheric ballistic missile defense interceptor off the coast of Odisha in the Bay of Bengal? I repeat, which government agency collaborated with the Indian Navy and conducted a maiden flight trial of a sea-based endo-atmospheric ballistic missile defense, that is BMD Interceptor, First of all, remember where was this tested? It was tested in Bay of Bengal. Correct? It is your BMD Interceptor. Now the question asked here is which government agency along with Indian Navy conducted it? It was your DRDO along with Indian Navy. That is your Defense Research and Development Organization. This test was done to enhance the India's deterrence capabilities against aerial intrusion and to engage and neutralize a hostile ballistic missile threat. Next, in which state the third phase of the 5T school transformation was launched? It was launched in the state of Odisha. Correct? Then tell me, Millets Experience Center. Millets Experience Center has been opened up recently. Where were they opened up? At Delhi Heart, and it was launched by Agriculture Minister. Then Namo Medical Education. Namo Medical Education and Research Institute. Where was this set up? Silvassa. Next tell me if I ask you Operation Kaveri. Operation Kaveri. This Operation Kaveri was launched in order to bring Indians back to India from Sudan. Right? Similar operation was that Operation Ganga that was launched to bring Indians back to India from Ukraine. Right? Then a report was recently released that stated that India was the fourth largest military spender in the world. Right? In which year? In 2022 we are talking about. Correct? Then Australia. We know Australia is a part of Quad members. Who are all the part of Quad members? Australia, India, USA and Japan. These are your Quad countries, and they conduct an exercise that is Malabar exercise. And now in the month of May in 2024, that is next year, Australia will be hosting this Quad, third in-person Quad summit. Next, central government constituted a peace committee in Manipur under the chairmanship of Dash. So remember, central government constituted a peace committee under the chairmanship of Anusaiya Uike, who is the governor of Manipur. Correct? And the aim here was to peacemaking process, right? The aim here was to promote peace. The reason for this protest going on is because of the Meitei committee. They are demanding for the status of ST, that is scheduled tribe. Next, first ammunition cum torpedo cum missile barge of the series LSAM 15, that is Yard 15, was delivered to Indian Navy at the Naval Armament Depot, that is in Karanja in Dash. So it is in Karanja in Mumbai, Maharashtra, right? And it is the first ammunition cum torpedo cum missile barge of the series LSAM 15, that is Yard 15, and it was delivered to Indian Navy at the Naval Armament Depot, Karanja in Mumbai, Maharashtra. The barge was built under the classification rules of the Indian Register of Shipping with a service life of 30 years. Correct? Next. Which among the following is correct with respect to the visit of German Federal Minister of Defense Boris Pistorius to India in June 2023? According to, if we look at the option, German Federal Defense Minister Boris Pistorius and India's Union Minister of Defense Rajnath Singh hold talks to enhance bilateral defense cooperation, particularly industrial partnership. So is option A is correct? So yes, A is correct. Then German Defense Major Thyssenkrupp Marine Systems TKS and Musgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited of India, they signed an MOU for Indian Navy's P-75 India submarine project in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So option B is also correct. C is Germany's Defense Minister Boris Pistorius was honored with the Tri-Service Guard of Honor. This is important, but option C is also correct here. So all these options A, B, C are right here. Next, we have to tell which is correct with respect to the President of India's Draupadi Murmu visit to Suriname and Serbia in June 2023. Here also she was awarded with the award. But first, if we look at the option A, or first remember, President Draupadi Murmu visited Suriname and Serbia between 4th and 9th of June, right? And on 4th of June, President reached Suriname for the first leg of her state visit to Suriname and Serbia. During her visit, the Suriname president honored President Murmu with the Grand Order of the Chain of Yellow Star. I repeat, she was honored with the Grand Order of the Chain of Yellow Star, the highest civilian honor of Suriname. Correct? Then next, she became the fourth recipient and the first Indian to receive this particular honor, that is Grand Order of the Chain of Yellow Star. Correct? So if we look at the option A, what is saying? It is the Grand Order of the Chain of the Blue Star. No, it is not blue, it is Yellow Star, right? And this is the highest civilian honor of Suriname, and she became the second Indian. No, she became the first Indian and fourth recipient, right? She became the first Indian and the fourth recipient of this award. So option A is wrong here. With these changes, it will become correct. The Grand Order of the Chain of Yellow Star, right? Then next thing, remember, option B is saying that Central Drug Standard Control Organization of India under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and the Ministry of Health of Suriname, they signed a memorandum of understanding for cooperation in the field of medical products regulation. So option B is correct. C is during her visit to Serbia, the President of India addressed the India-Serbia Business Forum. Option C is also right here. Next, which among the following is correct with respect to the RBI's second bi-monthly monetary policy of fiscal year 22 and recent initiatives that were led by RBI in June 2023? Option A, India's real GDP growth for fiscal year 24 was projected at 6.5% and CPI inflation was projected at 5.1% in fiscal year 2024. So yes, it is correct, and CPI is the inflation data that is projected. Correct. Then option B is saying that RBI extended the phase in life for achievements of priority sector lending targets for primary cooperative banks from March 31 to March 31, 2026. That means from 2024 to 2026. And it has been extended, so the time period is also right here. Option B is also correct. Third is RBI conducted a 4-day variable rate reverse repo auction for 1 lakh crore corpus, that is $12.12 billion on June 12th. So yes, the data is 1 lakh crore rupees. It is also right. And the date is on 12th of June. It is also correct. So all these option 3s are right here. Then remember RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India's 6-member monetary policy committee. It met on 6th, 7th and 8th June, and they released this second bi-monthly monetary policy statement for fiscal year 24, and all this data was there. Next, World Bank, they approved $148 million loan to support Dash state in India to improve the irrigation practices in rural areas. So remember, World Bank, they approved $148 million loan to support West Bengal in India to improve the irrigation practices in rural areas. Correct. So option 4 is right here. West Bengal aims to increase the farmers' income through production of range of pulses, fruits and vegetables which require water for irrigation. Next, which organization recently signed a $130 million loan agreement with the government of India to promote horticulture in Himachal Pradesh? So we are promoting horticulture in Himachal Pradesh, for which Asian Development Bank, that is ADB, they have granted $130 million loan for the Himachal Pradesh state. This agreement is based on the Asian Development Bank's Project Readiness Facility. That is, they will be converting almost 200 hectares of land into horticulture land, and more horticulture. That, what is this horticulture first of all? Right? Horticulture is the production of fruits and vegetables. Right? So it is your Asian Development Bank that granted $130 million loan to Himachal Pradesh. Next, which among the following is correct with respect to French Open that was held in Paris, June? Look at it. Novak Djokovic, he is from Serbia and he won his 23rd Grand Slam title, right? And it is the maximum number of Grand Slam titles won by anyone, because if we talk about Rafael Nadal, he won 22 Grand Slam titles and now Novak Djokovic has surpassed him, correct? He won this French Open, this is also known as Roland Garros Award. So for men's single title, Novak Djokovic won it. Next, remember, if we talk about women, who won it? She is Iga Swiatek. She is from Poland and she won the women's single title at the French Open 2023, right? And this was her third French Open title and the fourth Grand Slam title. But if we look at the option B, with this, Novak Djokovic became the most successful male tennis player with the most number of single trophies in the history by surpassing Roger Federer's records of 21 Grand Slam. No, I just mentioned that not Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer clocked 22 Grand Slams, right? Corrected that. Here you have to correct it that it is not Roger Federer, right? Here it is Rafael Nadal and it is not 21, it is actually 22. So Novak Djokovic became the most successful tennis player by surpassing Rafael Nadal, who won 22 Grand Slams, right? So this was right. It is not Roger Federer. He is Rafael Nadal, who won 22 Grand Slams, and Novak Djokovic has surpassed him by winning 23 Grand Slams. Next, now we have to tell which is incorrect with respect to International Cricket Council's World Chess Championship for 21-23 that was held in August from 21st of August to June 2023. Right? This was a long period and it was halted because of COVID-19. So which among the following is incorrect here? If we look at the option 1, Australia's men cricket team captained by Pat Cummins defeated India's men cricket team captained by Rohit Sharma by 209 runs in the finals to win the second edition of the ICC World Test Championship 21-23. So yes, option 1 is right here, but we have to mark incorrect, right? So option 2, Australia became the first and only team to win all three major ICC events after England, and this is the 7th time Australia have taken an ICC trophy. So yes, option 2 is wrong here, because which is it? Australia became, no, who won this? First of all, tell me, we will be talking about this. Australia became the first and the only team to win all the 4 major ICC events after England, and this is the 9th time that Australia has taken an ICC trophy. Correct? If we talk about ICC One Day International World Cup, they won it for 5 times. Then ICC Championship 2 times in 2006 and 2009. Then T20 International World Cup, they won it in 2021. And now ICC World Test Championship, they won it for the year 21-23. Then option 3 is also right here and option 4 is also right here. You can directly read it that Ajinkya Rahane became the first Indian to score half century in ICC World Chess Championship. Then Rohit Sharma became the third fastest opening batter to record 13,000 international runs across all the formats in his 307th inning. Then Virat Kohli, he became the India's highest run scorer in the World Test Championship with 932 runs in 17 matches. Next, which among the following is correct with respect to the Global Slavery Index 2023 released by Australia-based rights group Walk Free Foundation in May 2023? So from here, if we look, option A, it is correct that according to index globally, 50 million people were living in conditions of modern slavery in 2021. That is a 25% rise over the last 5 years. And option C is also right here that South Korea, that is on the top in the index in the most prevalent in the modern slavery, and Finland is on the 160th position with the least prevalent modern slavery. So no, it is not South Korea, it is your North Korea that is on the top position with the most prevalent modern slavery. right? And on option 2, among the G20 nation, India has topped the list with 11 million people working as forced laborers, followed by China. So yes, option B is correct, but option C is wrong because it is your North Korea in the least position. Correct. Then remember, China, Russia, Indonesia, Turkey, these are some of the G20 nations, among which if we see, India has topped the list with 11 million working force as labor. Then two-thirds of the modern slavery workers are from countries such as India, China, North Korea, Pakistan, Russia, Indonesia, etc. Correct. And Asia and the Pacific region has the largest number of modern slavery with 29.3 million people. Next, name the financial inclusion dashboard that has recently launched by the Reserve Bank of Governor Shaktikant Das. So, which is it? Tell me, we name the financial inclusion dashboard that recently launched by RBI Governor Shaktikant Das. It is your Antardrishti. Correct? Antardrishti. The main aim of this was dashboard to provide necessary insights to assess and track the development of financial inclusion by recording relevant data. Antardrishti means insight, right? And this was launched by Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikant Das. Correct. Next, name the payments bank that recently partnered with Hubble Money to introduce the world's first spending account. It is your Fino Payment Bank, right? Fino Payment Bank, they partnered with Bangalore, Karnataka based fintech company Hubble Money to introduce India's and world's first spending account that is aimed at helping customers manage their finance, track expenses, and earn rewards on purchases. This partnership is made under Fino Payments Bank Fino 2.0 initiative to strengthen their digital offering and enhance the overall customer experience, and they will be targeting Gen Z here, right? Mostly Gen Z as well as the millennials. So both Gen Z is your generation, right? And millennials are the people who are born and who have not seen the era of before internet, right? And Gen Z is the generation that has born with the era of internet. Next, Dash, who has been recently honored with the title of the Governor of the Year for 2023 at the Central Banking Awards 2023. He will be Shaktikant Das, right? And he is the Governor of India. He has been honored as the Governor of the Year title for 2023 during the Central Banking Awards, right? And remember, he is the 25th Governor of India, right? He is the 25th Governor of India, and he was awarded with the title Governor of the Year for 2023 during Central Banking Awards. Correct? Also remember, he is second RBI Governor to be honored with this award after Raghuram Rajan, and he was awarded with this Governor of the Year title in 2015. Next, which of the following warships of Indian naval ship has recently launched by GRSE at the shipbuilding facility of L&T in Chennai, Tamil Nadu? Right? It is your INS Sanchodhak and INS Anjadeep. Remember, INS Anjadeep, this is the third of the 8 indigenously built anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft, and we are talking about Anjadeep. And if we talk about INS Sanchodhak, it is the fourth and the last in the series of survey vessel large project that was launched by GRSE. Correct? And this was along with GRSE at the shipbuilding facility of L&T, that is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Correct? So option second and third is correct here, INS Sanchodhak and INS Anjadeep. Next is the United Nations General Assembly. They recently approved a draft resolution to establish a new memorial wall to honor fallen peacekeepers. This resolution was proposed by India, right? At United Nations General Assembly, there was a proposal to establish a new memorial wall to honor the fallen peacekeepers, and India's permanent representative to UN Ambassador Ruchira Kambose. She was the one who revealed this draft or this resolution for the memorial wall for the fallen United Nations peacekeepers at the United Nations General Assembly headquarters at New York. Out of 193 nations, 190 nations approved it, and the amount of money that will be required for the same will be funded from the voluntary contributions. Right? So, right option here is India. Next, which organization recently released the report Detox Development Repurposing Environmentally Harmful Subsidies, which discusses subsidies for the three assets of fossil fuels, agriculture, and fisheries? It is your World Bank, right? So, World Bank released this report, that is Detox Development Repurposing Environmentally Harmful Subsidies, that discusses the subsidies for these three assets, that is fossil fuel, agriculture, and fisheries. Also, the subsidies for these three assets exceeded $7 trillion per year, or about 8% of the global domestic or global gross domestic product, that is your global GDP. Then, as per the report, subsidy reform could reduce air pollution and they can save up to 3,60,000 lives by 2035 in 25 high pollution, high subsidy countries. Next, which of the following asset management companies has recently launched India's first ever passively managed microcap fund to replicate or track the performance of the Nifty Microcap 250 Total Return Index? It is your Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company Limited, right? Which is India's first ever passively managed microcap fund to replicate or track the performance of the Nifty Microcap 250 Total Return Index. This will focus on the first 250 firms beyond NSE, that is your National Stock Exchange, right? 500 companies. The new fund offer for the same will be from 15th of June to 29th of June, and the scheme will be managed by Swapnil Mayekar and Rakesh Sethi for the debt component. Next, which of the following are correct with respect to the Government of India and United Nations Sustainable Development Corporation framework for 2023 to 2027 that was signed in June 2023? So, according to this event was signed between Niti Aayog and United Nations Office. So, yes, option A is right. The implementation and monitoring reporting of this event will be co-led by the Government of India and United Nations through a joint steering committee. This is also right. Third is the formulation of this event was led by Niti Aayog. So yes, this is also right. It is based on 4 P's, that is your 4 pillars: people, prosperity, planet, and participation. Right? Next, the Department of Legal Affairs in the Ministry of Law and Justice constituted an expert committee to recommend reforms in the Arbitration and Conciliation Act of 1996. Who will chair this 16-member expert committee? This 16-member expert committee will be chaired by T.K. Vishwanathan. Correct? So, this is a 16-member expert committee chaired by T.K. Vishwanathan, and the objective here is to alleviate the burden on the courts, and this panel has a time period of 30 days before submitting the report. Next, which among the following countries have recently finalized the draft of a tripartite power trade agreement with India to create greater energy connectivity? It is your Nepal and Bangladesh, and we have discussed that both Nepal and Bangladesh here, they will be sharing electricity with each other and they will be using India's transmission line for the same. Correct? Energy cooperation forms a key element in India's neighborhood first policy, and India has constructed electricity transmission infrastructure in Nepal and Bangladesh and has helped both countries to build the cross-border pipeline. So right answer is option 4. Next is, which among the following is correct with respect to the steps taken by SEBI in June 2023? Option A is, SEBI introduced timeline of 3 months for listed entities to fill up the vacancies of their key managerial personals to ensure smooth functioning of the listed companies. So yes, their managing roles should be filled within 3 months. This guidelines was released by SEBI. So yes, option A is right. Then SEBI restricted online bond platform providers from offering products other than the listed debt securities on their online bond platform or any other platform, website, products or services. So yes, option B is also correct. C is SEBI revised the clause 5.0 of the OBP circular and allowed inclusions of a few new products categories such as the government securities and listed sovereign gold bonds. So yes, option C is also right here. Right. Next, Indian men's football team, they won the Hero Intercontinental Cup 2023 by defeating Lebanon in the finals. That the event was held at Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Correct. So Indian men football team, which is also known as White Tigers, they have won the Hero Intercontinental Cup, right? And this event was held, or this game was held at Bhubaneswar, Odisha. They defeated Lebanon in the final, and this was the third edition of the Hero Intercontinental Cup that was held from 9 to 18th of June. And this is the second time that India has won this. The first time India won this was in 2018. That was the first edition of this event. Next, United Nations adopted the first ever legally binding international treaty that was named BBNJ Treaty to protect the high seas and preserve marine biodiversity in international water. What does this BBNJ here stands for? So BBNJ is your High Seas Treaty, right? What is this BBNJ? BBNJ stands for Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Treaty, right? This is also known as High Seas Treaty, and it is to protect the high seas and preserve marine biodiversity in international waters. This is an agreement under United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas, UNCLOS, correct? That came in force in 1994. Correct? That the treaty establishes a framework for marine protected areas and establishes standards and guidelines to determine the environmental impact of the high seas on these biodiversity. So this High Sea Treaty is your Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Treaty, right? BBNJ, and here J stands for jurisdiction. So option C is correct here. Next is, which among the following is correct with respect to the Vietnam's Defense Minister General Phan Vang Giang's visit to India in June 2023. So according to it, the Minister of National Defense of Vietnam, General Phan Vang Giang, he was on a 2-day visit to India from 18th to 19th of June, right? During this visit, if we look at the options, it was a bilateral meeting was held between Union Minister of Defense Rajnath Singh and General Phan Vang Giang in New Delhi, and it was to enhance the Indian-Vietnam cooperation in the defense industries, marine security and multinational corporation. The Indian side gifted an indigenously built in-service missile corvette, that is Indian naval ship Khurki, to Vietnam. So option A is right, but option B is wrong here because it was not INS Khurki, it was INS Kirpan that was gifted to Vietnam by India. And this is one of the most important current affairs that is being discussed here, that what is the name of the Indian naval ship that was gifted by India to Vietnam? It is your INS Kirpan and it is not INS Khurki. Correct it, right? Then also remember, he made a cultural visit to Agra, Uttar Pradesh, and apart from this, option C is General Phan Vang inspected the Tri-Service Guard of Honor and laid a wreath and paid homage to the soldiers at the National War Memorial, New Delhi. So yes, it is also right. Next question is, which organization has partnered with Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Rural Livelihood Mission, to empower women entrepreneurs? It is your United Nations Development Program. So option 5 is correct here. So we can say UNDP, they partnered with DAY NULM, right? And it is to empower women entrepreneurs so that they can make well-informed career choices in the field of entrepreneurship. Here, women will be helped in care economy, digital economy, electrical mobility and waste management, as well as food packaging and more. This will be a 3-year contract, right, which is extendable beyond 2025. This will be covering 8 cities in initial phase, right? Next is according to the World Economic Forum's annual global gender report. So World Economic Forum recently released the global gender gap report. It was released in June. Here India ranked dash out of 146 countries. So the rank of India was here 127 out of 146 countries. Now ask which is the country that secured the first position. It is Iceland that secured the first position here. On second is your Norway. On third is your Finland. Right? So coming back, according to the World Economic Forum, they releases this global gender gap report, and in this they stated that rank of India, or we can say this World Economic Forum, they released this global gender gap index for the year 2023, and in this index the rank of India was 127 out of 146, and Iceland secured the top position, Norway was on the second position, and Finland was on the third position. Right? Next is Dash company won the world's best airline alliance award for Singapore Alliance for 5th year at the Skytrax 2023 World Airline Award. So it is your Star Alliance company won the world's best airline alliance award for Singapore Alliance for the 5th year at the Skytrax 2023 World Airline Award, right? Then next is that the Star Alliance launch that is at Los Angeles International Airport has won the top award as the best alliance launch for the 9th consecutive year. I correct, for the 7th consecutive year. So Star Alliance award has won the world's best airlines award, and also the launch of the Star Alliance, or we can say the Star Alliance launch that is at Los Angeles International Airport has won the best alliance launch for the 7th consecutive time, right? So the right option here becomes option second. Next, which among the following is are correct with respect to Indus X? Here the name itself suggests INDUS, that is India and US, right? That is India and US Defense Acceleration Ecosystem. And we saw that because of this, multiple defense corporation was signed and multiple defense deals were signed between India and USA. The main objective between them was to strengthen the ties between the defense industrial ecosystem of both the nations, between India and US. Correct? This Indus X was formed on the commitment made between US and Indian National Security Advisors in January to launch an innovation bridge. Correct? And remember, India's Innovation for Defense Excellence, that is IDEX, and the Office of the Secretary of Defense, that is OSD, are leading this Indus X exercise or Indus X activities for Ministry of Defense and Department of Defense respectively. See, Ministry of Defense is for India and Department of Defense is for USA. So among the options A, B, C, all these three options are correctly mentioned here. Next, which organization bank recently approved an additional $150 million loan to support the Resilient Kerala program? So it is your World Bank. They have approved $150 million loan to support the Resilient Kerala program. Correct? This is program, basically this will be strengthening the Kerala's preparedness against the natural disasters, climate change impacts, disease outbreaks, and to protect the lives of the people of Kerala, right? The financing along with an earlier investment of $125 million will focus on the coastal erosion and water resource management, and it is expected to protect almost 5 million people from the impact of floods. This amount of money, that is $150 million, it will be provided as a loan with a final maturity of 14 years and including a grace period of 6 years. Right? Next, according to 2022 Burgundy Private Huron India 50, a 6-month update, this report was released in June, and Reliance Industries Limited has topped as the India's most valuable company with a value of 16.37 lakh crore rupees. So we can say Reliance is on the top with 16.37 lakh crore rupees. On second position, it is your TCS with 11.76 lakh crore rupees, and on third position is your HDFC Bank with 9.41 lakh crore rupees. Correct. Then apart from this, remember it is Serum Institute of India that has topped the list of the most valuable unlisted companies. Right, this is of the listed companies, and Serum Institute of India has topped the list for the most valuable firm for the unlisted companies with 1.92 lakh crore. Right, it was followed by NSE with 1.65 lakh crore and Byju's with 69,000 crore rupees, and the valuation of Byju's we know is declining. So correct option here becomes option 4th. Next is your according to Economist Intelligence Unit's Global Livability Index. So EIU released this Global Livability Index. This was released in June, and according to this, Delhi and Mumbai, these are the two location where, or these are the two cities that secured 101st position in this Global Livability Index, right? And while Vienna, that is the capital of Austria, secured the first position in this particular world's most livable index. So we can say that if asked which is the world's most livable city, it is Vienna of Australia, and it is for the second consecutive year that Vienna, Australia was listed as the world's most livable city, and Delhi and Mumbai was on the 141st position. Then Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, was on the second position. Melbourne was on the third position. Sydney was on the fourth position. And if we are taking from below, the most or the least livable city in the world, it is Damascus. Damascus is the world's least livable city, and it is the capital of Syria, right? And its rank is 173. Next, which among the following is correct with respect to the initiative made by SEBI in June? So if we look at that, option 1, SEBI has mandated, or SEBI has made the manager and key management personnel of the alternative investment fund responsible for appointing an independent valuer of assets and ascertaining true and fair valuation of the investments of the AIF scheme. So A is correct. B, the independent valuer should have at least 3 years of experience in the valuation of unlisted securities and should not be associated with the manager, sponsor or trustee of the AIF. Yes, B is also correct. C, SEBI barred Eros International Media Limited, its promoters and chief executive officer Pradeep Kumar Dwivedi from the securities market until further notice over alleged breach of trade practice regulations. So option C is also right. So all the options are correct here with respect to the initiatives of SEBI. Next, one more thing here. Remember, the vice chairman and managing director Sunil Arjan Lula was also barred by SEBI from holding any directional positions in the listed company, including Eros International or their subsidiaries. Next, which among the following Indian companies have recently featured on the Time 100 Most Influential Companies of 2023 list, the Time magazine's annual list under the Pioneer category? So the right option here is option 4, that is both 1 and 2. Misho and NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. These are the two companies that featured on the Time 100's Most Influential Companies of 2023, right? And they were listed under the category Pioneer, right? And we know NPCI, they launched UPI, and because of this they were listed on this position, because UPI has revolutionized the transaction game, and each and every individual in India is now using UPI for transfer of payment from one bank account to other bank account. Next, Indian Railways recently announced a plan to introduce India's first hydrogen train that is expected to start its operation from Jind, Haryana district by the March 2024. A total of or we can say instead of this, if I ask you first pure green hydrogen making plant, where was this set up? This was in Jorhat, that is in Assam, right? And in Assam only, if you remember, a hydrogen generator was set up in a resort that was based on a pilot project, that whether green hydrogen can sustain that particular resort or provide electricity to that particular resort or not, right? And remember, this hydrogen train, or this plan to introduce India's first hydrogen train, is expected to start from Jind, Haryana. Also remember, India's first hydrogen plant, this was your pure green hydrogen making plant, right? We are talking about India's first hydrogen plant. It was set up near Haryana only, near to this railway junction in Jind, Haryana district. Next, which of the following is correct with respect to Sahitya Academy Bal Sahitya Puraskar for 2023? The executive board of the Sahitya Academy under the Ministry of Culture announced the 22 winners of Bal Sahitya Puraskar 2023. Here, Rotindranath Goswami received Sahitya Academy Bal Sahitya Puraskar 2023 for Chandpur Ki Chanda short stories in Hindi language. And this is wrong. Option A is correct, but this is wrong because Rotindranath Goswami did not receive. It was received by whom? Suryanath Singh. Suryanath Singh received this Sahitya Academy Bal Sahitya Puraskar for which it was for Kotup app short stories. Kotup app short stories in Hindi language, right? So this is the right option. Then Sudha Murthy received Bal Sahitya Puraskar 23 for grandparents bag of stories under the story category in English language. So yes, option C is correct. So A and C are correct, and we have corrected the option B here. World's first robotic check-in assistant. I repeat, world's first robotic check-in assistant was unveiled by whom? It was at the Dubai's airline Emirates. So Dubai Airlines, Emirates, or directly Emirates, remember, Emirates was the airline that has unveiled the world's first robotic check-in assistant, right? Then there was a digital bank that was launched recently by IndusInd Bank. Can you tell me the name of this bank, digital bank? It was Indi, correct? Then which country launched gold-backed digital currency? Gold-backed digital currency was launched by which country? It is your Zimbabwe. Alright, Zimbabwe launched the gold-backed digital currency. Then remember, fourth startup focus branch was launched by which bank? It was basically focusing on the startup only to provide loans. It was launched by SBI, and no collateral will be required to provide such loans. Next thing you need to remember, the fourth startup focus branch was launched in Mumbai. It was launched by SBI, and upcoming branches will also be launched in the Gurugram area of Haryana. Next, ISRO completed the post-mission disposal operations of DAS communication satellite. So remember, ISRO has recently completed the post-mission disposable operation of GSAT-12 satellite. Next, if I ask you, tell me who has been appointed as the new Deputy Prime Minister of UK. He will be Oliver Dowden. Who has been appointed as the Chairman of NASSCOM? Anant Maheshwari, and he will be in this position for the period 23 to 24. Then who has been appointed as the President of Bangladesh? Mohammad Shahabuddin Chuppu. Correct. Next, who has been appointed as the President of Indian Cycling Federation? Pankaj Singh. Who has been appointed as MD and CEO of City Union Bank? N. Kamakodi. Who has been appointed as the CEO of Association of Asset Reconstruction Companies? Harihara Mishra. And who has been appointed as the Chief Operating Officer of SpiceJet? He will be Arun Kashyap. Correct. And who is the chairman? He is chairman of LIC. He will be Siddharth Mohati. And new chief of Bank of Baroda will be Devadatt Chand. Right? Next, name the Indian Institute of Technology that recently conducted a test flight experiment for their cloud seeding project. So this cloud seeding project is basically to provide rain, right? To make it rain, right? Some chemicals are spread or some chemicals are sprayed into the clouds, that is your silver iodide, right? And with this spraying in the cloud, the water vapor becomes heavy and it starts to rain. And the area near this IIT Kanpur was heavily drenched in water in rainfall after this particular tests. All right, so it is your IIT Kanpur that recently tested this cloud seeding project, right? And this experiment was conducted with the approval from DGCA, that is your Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Even Dubai last year did this cloud seeding technique for making it rainfall because of the high temperatures there. And even China used this technology for the irrigation last year when there was drought. Next, according to the Fall Short Addressing the Climate Finance Gap for Children report that was released by the members of the Children's Environmental Rights Initiative Coalition, Plan International, Save the Children and United Nations Children Fund in 2023, just according to the data released by them, just 2.4% of climate finance from the key multilateral climate funds was used as supporting child responsive activities. So correct option here is option 4th, right? In total, a total of 591 project proposals were assessed that covers a 17-year period from 2006 to March 2023. Next, which among the following multilateral development banks have recently partnered with the World Health Organization to launch the new Health Impact Investment Platform? It is your Asian Development Bank, European Investment Bank and Islamic Development Bank. So correct option here is option 5. All among the following is correct, right? The aim here is to strengthen and invest in the climate and crisis resilient primary healthcare services, right? Or primary healthcare sector, and that too especially in the low income and low and middle income countries. Correct? I repeat, these three organizations along with WHO, they recently started to they plan to invest in the climate and primary healthcare sector in the low income countries and low and middle income countries. They will provide 1.5 billion euro to these low income countries and low and middle income countries to provide them for various services, and this money will be provided to them as a loan amount. Correct? And they will be working towards the primary healthcare services in these countries. Next, the World Bank recently granted $255.5 million loan to improve the quality of technical education and expand the career opportunities for students in India. So right option is option 3 here. So IBRD, that is an arm of World Bank, they recently granted $255.5 million loan to India with a maturity period of 14 years. And here it is to improve the technical education in India. This project will be for 5 years, right? And it will benefit around 275 government run technical institution, and it will provide benefit to almost 3.5 lakh students annually. So we can say World Bank collaborated, or World Bank recently provided a loan of $255.5 million to improve the technical education in India. Next, name the research institute that recently delivered the Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope, that is SOOT, to ISRO for the Aditya L1 solar mission. This Aditya L1, this is the India solar mission, and it is the first solar mission that will be studying and researching sun. L1 is the Lagrange 1 point where this particular satellite will be placed, and the university or the research institute that delivered this suit to the ISRO for Aditya L1 solar mission is your Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. Correct? And suit, it is one of the 7 payloads that will be carried by Aditya L1 while it will be launched. Correct? The main purpose of this telescope is to study the sun's ultraviolet emissions and capture high resolution images of the sun's atmosphere, that is known as corona. So we can also say, the question can be asked, what is the name of the mission that was launched to study the corona? It is your Aditya L1. It was launched by ISRO India. It will be launched by ISRO and India. Next, which among the following is correct with respect to the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to USA in June 2023? See, we have discussed this topic multiple times and we will go through it, as during this visit, GE Aerospace signed an MOU with India's Hall in Washington to produce fighter jet engines for Indian Air Force. So option A is correct. B, India and USA signed an agreement, that is Artemis Accord, and joint Indo-US mission to ISS in 2024 on cooperation in space research. Yes, here they will be sending the astronauts. Both the nation will be sending astronauts to International Space Station in 2024. And recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Joe Biden signed or announced 10 million grant. No. It is 2 million grant that was approved for the artificial intelligence and quantum technologies, right? For artificial intelligence and for quantum technologies, PM Narendra Modi and Joe Biden announced $2 million grant. So option C is wrong here. So correct option is 2 million here, right? Next, steps with respect to SEBI in June 2023. In this, if we look at option A, SEBI introduced ASBA application, right? ASBA is your application supported by blocked amount, and it is a like process for trading supported by the blocked amount in the secondary market with effect from 1st of January 2024. So yes, option A is correct. B, in this framework, inventors' fund remain in their bank account but are blocked in favor of the clearing corporation until the block is released or debited for trading obligation. Yes, option B is also correct. C is SEBI also comes out with the disclosure formats for compliance reports on governance and annual secretarial for emerging investment vehicles, real estate investment trust and infrastructure investment trust. What are these REITs? In these REITs and InvITs, you can invest into the real estate and infrastructure with a nominal amount, right? You can have a 1/10 share of this REITs in any property. There are almost three REITs in the market that you can purchase. It will be similar to purchasing that of a share, right? Or in investing in equity. But here, this further amount when collected will be invested into a real estate investment, right? So option A and B are correct here. Apart from this, remember, a UPI block acts as a collateral and can be used for the settlement purposes. Investors blocking a lump sum amount can have multiple debits from the block as long as there is enough balance to meet obligations over several days. Next, name the bank that recently became India's first public sector bank to introduce the facility of UPI payments to merchants through RuPay credit card. It is your Canara Bank, right? Canara Bank became the first public sector bank to introduce the facility of UPI payments to merchants through RuPay credit card. This was in association with NPCI, that is your National Payment Corporation of India, and this facility is made available at the Canara Bank super application of the bank, that is Canara AI1, right? Next, which of the following is correct with respect to World Bank Fund for India in June 2023? Among them, if we see, World Bank has approved $391 million in financing to improve the healthcare services and economic opportunities in India's northeastern state of Assam and Tripura. Right? So is option A correct? Yes, because it is in Assam and Tripura, and World Bank has approved $391 million for the healthcare services and economic opportunities in these states. If we look at option B, Assam State Secondary Healthcare Initiative for Service Delivery Transformation, that is your ASSIST project, this will receive $251 million, and Tripura Rural Economic Growth and Service Delivery Project will receive $140 million. So is it correct? So yes, option B is also correct. But if we look at the option D, World Bank has approved $300 million loan for the quality of education in Odisha. No, it is in Chhattisgarh. And you can see it from this also that this project chart was launched in Chhattisgarh, as CHOC stands for Chhattisgarh Accelerated Learning for Knowledge Economy Operation, right? And this aims to benefit 4 million students, particularly those from poor and vulnerable communities of Chhattisgarh state. So option C is not right here. A and B is the correct answer. If we want to correct C, it should be Chhattisgarh here. Right? Next is in June, S&P Global Ratings retained their forecast for India's economic growth at 6% for fiscal year 23-24. Right? Apart from this, remember GDP is projected to rise 6.9% for 24-25, and for 25-26 it is projected to rise 7.1%. Correct? Then India leads with an average growth of 7% in the upcoming 2 to 3 years. Remember, between 24, 25 and 26, if we calculate, it is expected, and I've told multiple times that India will be growing on an average of, it is expected that India will be growing with an average of 7%. But this can definitely change because of the market. This can definitely change because of various scenarios. If there is a recession in US, then whole world will be affected by it, and these ratings will definitely change. So coming back, in June, S&P Global Ratings projected how much? 6% rise, right? 6% growth. Next, you have to tell which among the following is incorrect with respect to Special Olympic World Games Berlin 2023 held in Germany in June. So according to them, if we look at it, you have to say which among the following is incorrect. So first, remember, the mascot of the Special Olympic World Games in Berlin 2023 is unity, right? Then Indian athlete won 6 medals in the track events, including 2 gold, 3 silver and 51 bronze, right? This is also correct. Option 2 is also correct. C is Aanchal Goyal, a 400-meter level B female, and Ravi Mathi, this is the event, right? And Ravi Mathi, a 400-meter level C female event, won gold medals for India in the track events. So option 4 is also correct. But the option that is incorrect is the option 1, where Indian team won 200 medals, including 75 gold, 74 silver, 51 bronze in the 14th edition of the Special Olympic World Games in Berlin 2023. So coming back, first of all, remember, India won a total of 202 medals. That included 76 gold, 75 silver and 51 bronze medal, correct? And this event was between 17th to 25th of June 2023, and they were the 16th edition of these Special Olympic Games that was in Berlin, and this saw a participation of more than 7,000 athletes from around 190 countries competing in 26 sports, right? So this data is also important. How many sports were there? 26. And the mascot here is unity, right? Unity. And this represent emotion as the athlete feels about the world games, that is joy, togetherness, pride and excitement, right? Next, which among the following is correct with respect to the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to USA and Egypt in June? See, during this visit, USA's Boeing, the USA company, has announced $100 million investment in the infrastructure and programs to train pilots in India. So yes, option 1 is correct. Second, 3 tech US giants, Amazon, Google and Microsoft, they have committed and announced a major capital investment and technological cooperation in India for the growth of Indian technology. So yes, B is correct. C is during PM visit, and this is important one to pay attention. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi conferred country's highest state honor, that is Order of the Nile Award, to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So yes, this is also correct, and you have to remember, Order of the Nile Award was presented to whom? It was presented to Narendra Modi. It was presented by whom? It was presented by the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, right? And it is the country's highest state honor. Next, according to Quackrelli-Simons World University Ranking of 2024 that was released by Quackrelli-Simons, Dash is the only Indian institute featured among the top 150 universities. So it is your IIT Bombay, right? It is the only Indian institute that was featured among the top 150 universities, while Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that is MIT of USA, has topped the list for the 12th consecutive time. So the only Indian that was listed in this ranking of the 150 top 150 universities is IIT Bombay, and its rank was 149th. If we talk about top 200 universities, there was two universities from India, IIT Bombay and IIT Delhi. So coming back, answer this, it is your IIT Bombay that is the only Indian institute in the top 150 universities, and MIT has secured the top position, Cambridge University on the second, and Oxford University on the third position. Next, you have to tell which is correct with respect to WHO in 2023. See, among the following, if we look at it, WHO and International Council for Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use, that is ICH, and WHO, they recently announced their collaboration to increase the registry and sharing of regulatory information on medical products across the world. So yes, this is right, and this is basically to establish a unified language that streamlines the global regulatory decision making concerning the medical products while offering vital insights into the scopes. Then next is WHO and UNICEF signed an MOU to collaborate on a joint global advocacy initiatives over the next 3 years to promote and protect health for all people. Yes, option B is wrong here, because remember, WHO, and it is not your UNICEF, it is your global citizen, right? WHO and global citizen, recently they signed an MOU to collaborate on joint global advocacy initiatives over the next 3 years to promote and protect health for all people. And third is that MOU was signed, that was based on the event that was named Power Our Planet Live in Paris event, that was held during the summit for new global financing pact in Paris, France. So option C and option A are correct, but option B is wrong. WHO signed this pact or collaborated with global citizens to and collaborated, basically it was over the next 3 years to promote and protect health for all people. So WHO and global citizens. Next, Union Minister of Mines Prahlad Joshi released the first ever report on critical minerals for India. How many essential minerals were identified by the report? So a total of 30 minerals were identified by the report, and these minerals are basically used in various sectors such as defense, agriculture, energy, pharmaceuticals and telecom sector, right? And with this, India want to achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliance roadmap, and with these minerals, India does not want to import any other material, but we are willing to import these material minerals outside of India and use them in various sectors to grow. Correct? If you remember, lithium was recently found where? In Jammu and Kashmir, right? Lithium ion manufacturing plant will be set up where? In Gujarat. We have studied this also, right? So these are the 30 essential minerals list that was identified recently by the Union Minister of Mines Prahlad Joshi, and this was the first ever report on the critical minerals for India. Next, which company has recently received the first automotive PLI certificate from ARAI, that is Automotive Research Association of India? It is your Mahindra Last Mobile Mobility, correct? It received the first automotive PLI certificate from ARAI, that was for 25938 crore production linked incentive schemes for automobile, right? That is PLI Auto. It is worth 25,938 crore rupees, right? This ARAI, that is Automotive Research Association of India, this is a testing agency of the Ministry of Heavy Industries and awarded the eligibility certificate to LLM for its flagship electric 3-wheeler, right? Moving on. Fostering Effective Energy Transition 2023. This report was published by World Economic Forum and Accenture. India is ranked here dash. So India is ranked here on 67th position on the Energy Transition Index, while Sweden has topped the index with an ETI score of 78.5. So what is the rank of India here? 67th. And this data was released by World Economic Forum, that was reported That report was titled Fostering Effective Energy Transition 2023, and this was released by World Economic Forum in collaboration with Accenture. Right? Next is Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying Purushottam Rupala launched Report Fish Disease, an Android-based mobile application for aquatic animal disease reporting. The name of the application is RFD, that is Report Fish Disease. This is the name of the application. This was launched by Purushottam Rupala ji, who is our Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, correct? And this application is basically for reporting the aquatic disease in animals or aquatic disease in aquatic animals, right? It is a mobile application, and this app has been developed by ICAR NBFGR, that is your ICAR is your Indian Council of Agriculture Research, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and their arm NBFR, that is National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources. They have developed this RFD, that is Report Fish Disease mobile application, correct? And this is for reporting disease in aquatic animals. This RFD app provides advice to farmers associated with aquaculture and help them connect directly to the district's fisheries offices and scientists. Next, which country has recently conducted the first test of VMAX hypersonic guided vehicle to develop the missile technology? It is your France, right? France has conducted the first ever test for firing a VMAX hypersonic glide vehicle to develop the new missile technology, and this French VMAX program is being developed by Ariane Group, right? This is a defense company that specializes in the space launches. These hypersonic gliders, they are a type of warheads for blasting missiles that can operate freely and glide at hypersonic speed, designed to carry a nuclear or conventional warhead. So friends, these were your important current affairs for the month of June. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you have learned anything, all you have to do is like the video and comment below. I want to see maximum likes in this video, right? And I want to all of the students who are watching this video to like this video, correct? This will motivate us to make better content for you in the long run. Thank you all and have a nice day. That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at AffairsCloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is AffairsCloud_official. In the end, friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number, that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue.